Um, we are inextricably woven, the World Jewish Congress, with the Shoah and its aftermath. And we are really approaching, I think, the final chapter of restitution. If we don't manage to create a surge in order to push recalcitrant Jewish governments to actually make some additional gesture of compensation for communal property lost during the Shoah, for private property lost during the Shoah, then I believe we will have lost our last chance to actually gain some form of restitution. As far as memory of the Shoah is concerned, it's time unlimited. There is no time limit to how long we are going to keep remembering the Shoah. We're going to remember it forever, if necessary. Such was the devastation, such was the damage, such was the grief. And that is a position I think that no one can disagree with. And thirdly, Holocaust denial is becoming bolder. To a large extent motivated by the machinery of Ahmadinejad, obviously, and one has to assume that practically the whole of the Muslim population, not just radicals but also more moderates, probably many of them will believe what Ahmadinejad has said. Recently, a group of mullahs were taken, in fact, to one of the concentration camps. I can't remember which one. Some of them were fiercely denial of the Shoah, and they came back, one or two of them came back really quite impressed with what he saw. In terms of restitution, our primary focus is obviously going to be where the losses were greatest, which is Poland. And there is still unfinished business in Poland. Poland has not yet made any restitution for private property, and the World Jewish Congress is now determined to provide one final political push in order to try to see what can be achieved from Poland. We're also fighting in Lithuania, where anti-Semitism still lurks in every corner. We sent one of our lawyers to go to a commissioner of oaths. I can't remember what you call it in the States. In Britain, I think it's a commissioner of oaths. She went to a non-Jewish woman lawyer, and she said, "Could you please sign this affidavit?" And the woman said, "I'm terribly sorry, but you see, I'm an anti-Semite." She said it like, "I'm terribly sorry, we're out of potatoes in my store." It is especially troubling when the kind of deal that a high official in the Lithuanian government put to me as follows: look, we killed Jews, the partisan killed us, and the Soviet Union completely victimized and crushed us, and among the Soviet Union people there were Jews. So why don't we just call it quits? Each of the three has done something wrong to the other. They actually had the chutzpah to put that proposition to me when I met with in a visit to Vilnius to try to claim compensation. I think that we have to try to choose Lithuania first as our main country, because I feel that if we can manage to overcome the obstacles in one of the smaller countries, it may have some kind of spillover effect to, for example, Poland and other countries. So that is actually what we're going to do. Now, Moshe Kantor, I don't know if he's here, also has indicated his intention to join into the restitution efforts and to try to see what can be done at the European Court of Human Rights. That's going to be another initiative that we're going to take. And I think we have to keep on putting pressure on the European Union. Then finally, Thomas Kraus is here. I'd like to ask Thomas just to tell us very briefly, and Thomas, I've got 5 minutes, so you've got 3. What's the Theresian Initiative? And by the way, Thomas Kraus is actually one of the main founders of the Theresian Initiative, and he's going to describe it to you. Thank you.
Thank you for the 3 minutes. I think this is a tip of the iceberg, which actually was an action for more than 1 year. Some of you may have noticed that a year ago there was a big meeting in Prague during the Czech presidency, which actually was the last day. We had a conference which was called the Holocaust Era Assets. During that conference we have reviewed the status of restitution all around the world. We had 42 participating countries, and all these countries in the end were participating in adopting the final declaration. The final declaration was adopted in the city of Theresienstadt, the former concentration camp, and it is consisting of several paragraphs focusing on the legacy of the Holocaust, one of them the restitution. Within 1 year, the 42 states had some time to give us a report, how far have this been complemented into their legal system, and 2 months ago, I think it was mid-June this year, we had a follow-up conference which was focusing only on real estate restitution, and also 42 countries participating have adopted this final document saying that all these governments will do their best to implement and to also bring benefit to those survivors who are still among us. So the main outcome of this initiative is that today, as the World Jewish Congress and as individual Jewish communities, we have a legal platform and a framework where we can ask local governments how far has this been implemented. We have, of course, mixed results. In some countries we are quite far. In some countries, I think Michael mentioned that, we are at the beginning. But this is a long-term process. Inside of the process, we have created an institution which will take care of all these initiatives called the ESLI, that means the European Shoah Legacy Institute, with the seat in Terezin. Today it's still in Prague because the premises are not finished. And this will be the body which will oversee all these processes. Besides that, it's not only restitution, it's also the education on the Holocaust and some other issues. You can find everything on internet pages, and I think we have distributed, we have circulated the addresses. If not, we can do it.
Thomas, am I correct that while it's not legally binding, it certainly will apply strong moral suasion on those countries that have still not stepped forward and done their duty?
This is exactly worded in the preamble, because this is not legal binding, but it's by presence of these 42 countries, they have voiced their interest in somehow deal with these issues. So we have some controversial feedbacks from, for instance, Russia or Poland, but still these countries were sitting at these meetings and they were adopting the declaration. Though it's not signed, but it's from a moral perspective, we have really this framework.
Fine. We will be engaged also in the Teresian Initiative.